and welcome to everyone. My name's Archie Meikle. I'm chairman of Ashwood Scotland. We're a West Lothian based construction company. We employ in excess of 90 people in various disciplines, from trades through to technical support. And this video is to provide you with an insight into the opportunities which lie within the construction industry. Having left school at 16, I served my apprenticeship as a joiner, and in 1999 I decided to set up Ashwood Scotland as a new start company. First year our turnover was 1 million and grew to what it is now, just over 12, and employing over 90 people in various disciplines, from trades personnel to technical support staff.
Hi, my name is James Peden and I work in the estimating department at Ashwood Scotland. When the Central Library tender came in, it was my job to go through the documents issued by the council. These comprised of the specification, the drawings and the bill of quantities. The bill of quantities being the description of works that are required to be carried out. The City of Edinburgh Council put out the job and it was my responsibility to prepare the bid for the works. To do so, I had to break down the job into each different element and get a price for the works. On top of that, I had to figure out how much it would cost to run the site. This would be our project management costs. It's essential that we get this part right, because if the cost comes in too high, then we won't be considered for the works. But if it's too low, then we'll end up losing money on the job. Once the cost was finalised and cleared by our directors, I then submitted the cost to the City of Edinburgh Council for review. Here, it's likely that our cost was alongside maybe 4 or 5 other contractors, which I said before is so important to get right, because if it was too high, then we'll just be put to the bottom of the list and not be considered for the works.
Hi, my name's Victoria. I work as a procurement manager in a construction company. I first joined construction when I left school in an administrative role. I really enjoyed it, decided I wanted to pursue construction. From there I went to university, building studies, HNC in surveying, and now I'm a procurement manager. So on award of the Central Library contract, I attended a meeting with James, our estimator, who handed over the suppliers' quotations to me, and from there it is my job to go back out to the marketplace, speak to suppliers and get the best quality material from the best suppliers delivered on time. So I am predominantly office-based in Livingston. I speak with the site manager every day, keeping regular contact in Central Library to ensure that everything's going as planned, that the materials are arriving on site and of good quality. It's also important that we communicate regularly if any issues arise with delivery, quality, etc. We can pre-plan for a way forward.
Hello, I'm Kevin Holland. I'm a contracts manager with Ashwood Scotland. I've been with Ashwood for 5 years. I started off in the industry when I was 16, a youth training scheme which was called in those days, as a stonemason. Went to college, did City and Guilds Advanced and things like that, and qualified as a stonemason. I went to night school and stuff to further my education, eventually doing HNCs and things like that, diplomas and stuff. And then when I turned about 30, I went into management, and I've been in management ever since. And as I say, I'm currently a contracts manager with Ashwood. I've been in 5 years, work mainly in the heritage projects, i.e. working in older buildings. For example, the Central Library contract for the City of Edinburgh Council. Every light in the place is getting replaced inside, which prevents a lot of challenges working in an active library. James has done his bit. Once that job is awarded, that really gets handed to us as a site team, and that site team will be me as a contracts manager who will oversee a few different jobs. There'll be a full-time site manager, possibly 2, depending on the size of the contract, and a quantity surveyor who deals with essentially the money side of things. And initially what we do is we have to plan how we're going to carry out the works. That'll be speaking to the council about getting road permit, occupation for putting scaffolds up and things like that, possibly for putting site cabins in. We'll also look at the programme. We'll have done a programme when the job was actually costed, however things generally move, so now we'll have proper dates and we'll tweak the programme then, and really that's what we try and guide us to see where we are when we're carrying out the works. Once that's all done, the job starts. The site manager, who we're speaking later, he's chap on site that will do the day-to-day running. I'm there really to oversee and really there's a support role to the people on the job.
Hi there, I am Brodie Charman and I am an apprentice joiner at Ashwood, Scotland. I'm on a site at Central Libraries in Edinburgh, Scotland. A job that we've been doing recently has been figuring out these windows, some part of the windows, such as this piece of timber you see here called a sill. Has been, if it's been rotten, which is the case on a lot of these windows on this site, we've been taking them out and replacing them, which is usually they'll come to site at a certain size and we'll have to figure out what sort of size it will have to be to fit the correct window, because a lot of windows are different sized, and we'll have to dress it to size, which is meaning we will cut to a certain angle if it needs to be, and to fit the window, and then after that hopefully it'll be as good as new, just like it.
Hi, I'm David Kerr. I'm a time-served stonemason. I've been a stonemason now for a number of years, and I'm now a site manager with Ashwood Scotland on Central Library, and I've recently just finished my HNC in construction management. So this project consists of two packages. One is external and one is the internal. With the internal, one of the packages was the dry riser. So we were changing over from a wet riser to the dry riser. So basically a wet riser was the fire brigade could feed in from the street and feed the building if there was such a thing as a fire. The dry riser now is there's no water contained within the dry riser. So once the fire brigade arrive with the water, they plug it in and then they can attend to the building. So with the external package, the works consisted of stoneworks, window repairs and roof works. So my role within the project is to make sure materials arrive on site on time, and the same as the tradesperson. So they need to make sure they're coming to site on time and making sure that they've got everything to do the job, which end result is on time and on budget.
Good afternoon, my name is Morgan McGawkey. I'm an apprentice stonemason with Ashwood, Scotland. Today we've got some stone repair and replacement. We've got the stone on the gantry upstairs. We just need to dress and fit, as you can see. This is the stone for the sill course below that we need to take down and dress and fit to size.
So the lights in this room is the reference library, and we've used low energy efficient lights just down to better an environment rather than the existing lights where they tend to use a lot more energy, and these lights are LEDs, so great for the environment.
Hi, my name's Trish. I am a quantity surveyor for Ashwood, Scotland, currently working on the Edinburgh Central Library project. I started in quantity surveying a bit later, not going into university straight from school, but going to night school and achieving an HND before being fast-tracked on to third year of university. I work for a contractor. I enjoy working on the contracting side, which is working on the building side of the project, because I enjoy seeing how things are built, the construction technology side, and I enjoy being able to spend my time between site and the office. At any one time I'll be running a number of projects. A huge part of my job is the financial control of construction projects, which involves close liaison with the site team, with the estimating and also with our procurement department to make sure that the project is on budget and applying for payment to ensure that we get paid on a regular basis. We also have applications from trades that we appoint for specialist trades. Follow the same process for them to make sure that the supply chain is getting paid and the project gets kept moving.
Hi, my name's Andrew. I'm a senior site manager with Ashwood Scotland, working on the Central Library project. I've worked in construction now for over 40 years. It's a great industry to work in. It's interesting at the end of the day, and that you might have had a tough day, but you can go home and you can see that the work's being done. My role is threefold really. Firstly, to make sure that the work is done safely, to make sure that the work is done orderly, and to make sure that it's done correctly. So to make sure it's done safely, I have to make sure that the tradespeople are suitably qualified and they know how to work safely. They have to know about the jobs that they're doing, and they have to know about the jobs that other people are doing around them. The work has to be completed orderly so that people aren't working on top of one another and that things happen at the right time. So I don't want to be laying carpets before I've done decoration or I've done electrical work, because we'd end up with just a mess on the carpets and having to redo them, and that would cost somebody money. We also have to make sure that everyone understands which bit of work they're doing and where it stops and where it starts. And that's when I speak to my colleague Trish quite a lot to find out exactly what's in the contracts that each of the contractors have been given. Lastly, I've got to make sure it's been done correctly. And this means checking that the walls are the right height, that openings in walls are the right size, so when we come to fit the door fits in the hole that we've left in the wall, and it's not too big or too small. We also have to check all sorts of things from drainage right the way through to electricity, so that when the building actually opens, it operates safely. And we have to make sure that everything's recorded. We have to make sure that we're using the right drawings, the right specifications, and we have to keep good records of the work that's done on site each day, and to make sure that all the safety checks are made.
Okay, here we are in the book storage area of the Central Library. We're installing timbers hard up against the ceiling so that we can fit emergency lights, new emergency lights, into the ceiling. So Thomas is just measuring up at the moment to get the location and the size of the timber bracket that we're going to be fitting to the metal flooring above.